Welcome back to Weems Motor Co. and another episode of this jacked up chopper. Stick around. So I'm sure you guys have been following us around here at Weems Motor Co. and you've seen a lot of really cool bikes, and you know, we've done a lot of really cool stuff, but something that I've come to realize is that motorcycles are just like women. You have old ones, you have young ones, you have skinny ones, you have wide ones, you have pretty ones, and you have ugly ones. Well, today we are working on an ugly motorcycle, and that's okay because it's Jack's jacked up chopper. Now, here's the story. On our way back from our trip to Texas, where we went to the Nitty Gritty Chopper City Show, Jack was talking about some of the things he wanted to do to his bike, and you know, I've told him over and over and over again, you just need to give me the bike, let me go through it, and I'll make it into the most beautiful, pretty thing you could ever imagine. But Jack pointed out something. He said he loves his motorcycle the way that it is. And just like our women, just like those people in our lives, we love them just the way they are. And it just happens to be that his motorcycle may not be the most pretty, but it is the most recognizable. So we don't want to change things and make this bike not recognizable to the people who follow Jack. And if you're not following Jack's channel, you need to do that. Go over to Bueller, link right here below, and check out his channel and all of the adventures he's doing on this 1966 Triumph. Now, Jack dropped the bike off to me and says, hey, we want to do a couple things to it to get it more to his liking on the road. We don't have to use new parts because he wants to keep everything patinaed and old, which is great because we have a lot of old crusty chopper parts laying around the shop that we're going to throw at this bike. So we're putting a sissy bar on the back. We're doing a king and queen chopper style seat. We're gonna clean up some of that wiring just because that's me. I don't like having crazy wiring, and to clean that up would be smart in case you need to work on it. Possibly addressing some exhaust stuff, but Jack isn't here, so I get to do what I want to do, and I'm gonna treat this motorcycle as it is and how the guys back in the 60s and 70s were doing it on their back porches in their backyard. So we're just gonna MIG weld, we're gonna grind, we're gonna rattle can, we're gonna do things to make this 1966 Triumph be as cool as it possibly can be. So first things up, let's get a fender and a sissy bar mounted onto this bike. So Jack never really liked that old fender that he had on his bike. It was let's just say a swap meet purchase for probably less than 20 bucks. I had this old chromed trailer style fender kicking around in my parts stash, and I thought the patina is just right for his bike. The width is just right, and we're gonna set it up so it fits the bike and looks good. So we're not caring about all the extra little holes or the dirtiness or anything like that. That's what's cool about this bike, is I don't have to be meticulous and keep everything clean and perfect. I can just throw it together and make it work. So we're utilizing that fender. Now, Jack had the original sissy bar for this bike, and I got it sitting right over here on the bench. So this thing was actually set up for a swing arm bike. So these legs down here at the bottom were actually bent at a 90 degrees and mounted up where the swing arm or the seat mount would go. So I heated those up, straightened them out for them. Then I made these nice little tabs at the bottom so that we could weld those on and get it centered onto the frame so that we can make a cross brace for the fender. So first things first, I guess, is to get this mounted up onto the bike to figure out how we're going to do that fender mount on there. So let's get this welded up. Alright, so keeping with our theme of keeping things old and crusty, I went ahead and grabbed an old piece of scrap steel. It's always good to keep stuff laying around. You never know when you can use it, especially on crusty old Triumph choppers like this. So bent it up so that it fits right up underneath that fender. So now I just need to get my measurements out to the sissy bar, mark it so that I can cut it and weld this into the sissy bar. So we'll have a rear fender mount that'll hold that up off the tire. So make some marks, make some cuts, make some more welds. Let's keep working. So the next portion, now that we got that all welded up back there, is figuring out where that sissy bar is going to sit, leaning forward, backwards. To do that, we need to figure out the seat. Now, the seat that we're going to be using is this really awesome king queen seat. Now, as I set this on here, obviously I can tell immediately that that sissy bar is way too forward. So we need to push that thing back, get it to where that seat sits right nice and tight up against that angle that comes back, so that we know where we're going to put this seat at on here. And I'm telling you folks, this is looking pretty awesome for a 1966 Triumph chopper. So get this all lined up, got it right in place where we're going to be mounting it, so that we can drill that hole for the rear fender through that tab that we just welded onto the sissy bar. Still plugging away. Let's drill a hole, get a bolt in there, so that we can get this seat mounted up next. So sticking with our theme of using old stuff, I get to use all of my old bolts and stuff on this bike. So dug through there, found a nice 5/16 bolt with a washer and a lock nut. And now we have a rear fender mounted. Too easy, right? So I'm not really sure who mounted or did this fender before, but obviously they didn't cut a nice straight line. I mean, it's straight, just in an angle. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit for Jack. I know he had already mentioned it when I showed him this fender, and so we're gonna clean that up nice and neat, trim it off, radius that outside edge so it looks cool and looks the part. Then we can start getting that seat mounted and figure out where we're gonna put his tail light on there. So just work, cutting, grinding, doing things. Let's knock it out. So while we're out back here, Jack, in his normal fashion of keeping it sketchy, used to just zip tie his license plate right onto the end of the sissy bar. Well, I had one of these super cool old chopper style license plate mounts, and I was like, hey, I could take this and make a schematic and make one for Jack that we can literally mount right there on the back, so he can have his tail light and he can have his license plate bolted and secured properly. And that'd be as sketchy as he likes, but still has that period correct coolness to it. So welded up a bracket right here. While we were there, we went ahead and welded this bracket in so that we can put that one bolt into the back of the seat. So let's get this tag mount up on there, get his light on there, get his tag on there, and then we can move to the front mount of the seat, and we can wrap up this whole sissy bar seat situation and move on to the next problem. Let's knock it out. Doing some measurements, we discovered that this plate right here that we're mounting all of our electronics underneath is a perfect location for the front seat mount. We have a bolt hole right there at the front of it, and we're just gonna drill a hole here so we can put a bolt from the bottom into holding that seat down in the front. Just drilling a hole, let's knock it out. Look who decides to show up after a lot of the hard work is done.
Well, you decided to do it while I was at work.
Well, not all of us work. I work on your motorcycle while you work and make money. So
I do feel bad that you were working on it and I wasn't.
I wouldn't feel bad because things actually got done the right way.
Well, yeah.
Not the jacked up way. Hey, but we still got a few more things to do. We got to do some wiring. We got to figure out some tank mounts. But yeah, there's things to be done. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to do it today. I'm thinking maybe if you swing by here on Saturday morning and we have a good few hours, we can wrap this thing up, because I do want to go through the wiring with you. And really, that's about it. Structurally, she's ready.
Yep. OCC, here I come.
OCC. Gonna see if he can win a trophy from Paul Tuttle Sr., Orange County Chopper Extraordinaire.
Yep.
With this sketchy 1966 Triumph Chopper.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that all your words?
Well, no, what's going through my mind is what you said to me is like every time it's over here, it gets better and better.
So is it better?
Oh yeah, no.
If it's not better, it's gooder.
It's gooder.
It's gooder.
It's way gooder.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stick around. Here we are, next day. Triumph in dire need of wiring. Dire need. Already went through and cut a bunch of stuff. I get it. You had to get home and you had to make things work. Now we're gonna make things look beautiful and work to guarantee that you'll get home every time. You good with that?
I am great with that.
And it's gonna look clean and pretty and nice. That's the whole deal, right? So we've done a lot of stuff. We got the exhaust fixed. We got this sweet oil tank on here. We got a seat. We got a Fender. We got a sissy bar. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on. And now we just gotta finish it so you can get this thing out of my garage, okay?
Yes.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna time ourselves. You guys are gonna get like the fast forward version, but we're gonna see how long it takes me to rewire this whole motorcycle and get you out of here.
Okay.
Sounds good? You got a time? You want to play some bets?
No.
I want to place bets. I want to place bets with these guys. So what we want you to do right now, before I get started wiring this, is go down in the comments and let me know how long you think it's going to take. Because I tell you right now, we're going to start a timer on my watch and we're going to see how long it takes. Got it?
Got it.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. Wasn't too bad. We're talking 2 hours and 30 minutes for a full wiring job, sitting around hanging out, talking, answering phone calls, all of that stuff. So we got it done. Not too bad. And it's super clean.
But Jared.
What? We forgot a light. That's all right. There's always something to be done on this bike, and that's what's cool about it, is he's always changing things up, and that's a good thing. It's nice to have a motorcycle that you don't have to keep exactly the same. So things like adding on that oil tank, cleaning up the wiring, making these neat exhaust clamps on there good, making everything nice and clean. But one special thing that we added on here, Jack, that we did right over here, and I wanted to save this for the very end of the video. These are our brand new Superior Replica battery covers. Bless you.
Thank you.
They are in stainless steel. You can get them on our website in polished or raw finish. Raw, you can powder coat them, chrome them, polish them yourself, whatever you want. But this is the very first Triumph unit motorcycle utilizing that early rigid pre-unit style battery cover. So go to the website, check those out. While you're there, grab some hats, some stickers, all of that stuff. Jack, the last thing we're gonna do is I gotta have you turn on the lights. We're gonna check to make sure our wiring is good, and then we're gonna wrap this video up. Hit the lights, bro. What? Ooh, pretty. We have a headlight. Let's check a tail light. We have a tail light. All right, let's see if the brakes work. Let's see if the brakes will work. Hit the brakes. Boom. Brakes working.
Now,
That easy.
Mind you, he made this bracket for the license plate.
They saw.
But if you notice how it's cut, it is cut for a Lucas taillight.
It is.
Future.
We're going to be changing things.
Yes.
As always, changing things. But, Jack, that's it for today. You're going to get this freaking motorcycle out of my garage. Thank God. I am so happy to have this out of my way so I can move on to other cool things like starting another project. But that's for another day. But with that, if you guys are new around here, make sure you jump down and hit that subscribe button. If you really like the video, hit that thumbs up, turn those notifications on, and let everyone know what's going on right here
At Weems Motor Co.